They are watching live a race on television, on which is a very important race. And one of the riders, one of the best riders, is using their bicycle. So they're talking between them, and now something bad happened now. The rider that was riding a bicycle, and they expected that huge orders will come in because a good rider was riding this new model and they should prepare production for sudden increase in production. The pedal breaks off and the people on television said, what's happening? This new bicycle doesn't have basic technical capabilities. So he's really telling Maria all the things she did wrong. When before, in the beginning, he was saying that she's great, she has done a wonderful job, the project finished sooner than they thought, and she was also able to get one of the best riders, so saying all the good things. And now he's saying all the bad things. And not using very good language at times. So, what we try to see, and what I intended to hear also, is that we all have our natural tendencies. Okay? So, some people naturally, as you said before, tend to ask, others tend to tell. George here tends to tell. The question is, how do you help a person like that move a little bit more towards the asking, to involve Maria? In this case, if you would hear it, the question would be, okay, what didn't work well? And what was the impact? Some people would say, she's going to leave the company. Others would say, she will not trust him anymore. There could be other negative results of this one conversation. Actually, it wasn't a conversation, it was telling from the one side. So we say George is close to the door. Okay? Now, that leads us to the, I will not call it a definition, but let's call it the description of what is coaching. And it's not the only one. You'll hear different things, but I like this one. So we say it's a deliberate process using focused conversations with the aim to create the results, the environment that accelerate the performance and the development of people. That's why we do it. You want your team to be comprised of individuals that are improving their personal competencies and skills, and you also want a team that plays better together as a team. So you're developing both individuals but also teams, and you use the same techniques for both. Now, I don't know how many of you know the situational leadership model, but situational leadership, just a quick show of hands, who has heard about situational leadership? Very good, so enough of you. Situational leadership is actually the leadership model that's in use by far more than any other model. But basically it says that for any task, each person may be at a different development level. So depending on their development level, they have different needs. So if somebody is learning a new task for the first time, what they need is clear direction. They don't need a lot of talk, they just need clear direction. This is what you have to do, this is how you do it. If you are trying to learn something, you get the basics, but it doesn't work for you, and you get discouraged, you also need to discuss it. For people to hear your problem, what doesn't work for you, to try to help. So it's a two-way communication. Once you get to do the job, then you don't need direction anymore. You know how to do it. but you may have problems. You may not be sure at times, and you may go to your boss and say, this is my suggestion, what do you think? And your boss says, sure, you're right, do it. That shows that you're lacking some self-confidence, and you need different treatment from your boss to help you gain that self-confidence. And the last development level is when you know how to do something well, you're very confident and you're very motivated to do it, you don't need anybody. And if somebody comes to talk to you, they waste your time. And you say, leave me alone, I know what to do. Let me just do it. Now, that's connected to the leadership model we have here, which starts first from the connection with the person. So first you make a human contact. You understand who the other person is, they understand you, so you can have a good connection. Then you focus on what is the issue. Yes?
What if you already tried coaching and that failed, and then you're trying this? So the connection has already been made, and which was bad before.
It was bad.
It was bad. It
so
went wrong.
It's not a good connection. So you restart.
So you restart, right?
Yeah.
So you cannot restart from connect, right?
Of course, if you don't have a good connection, it's like the phone call.
The flavor is gone bad.
If you call somebody and you don't have a good connection, what do? You keep talking? No, you hang up and you reconnect.
How do you go about with that? If the flavor is not good already?
It means you have more work to do, but you need to find a good connection. If you don't find a good connection, if the person doesn't trust you, you have no chance. Even if you say the right things, they don't trust you, they don't listen to you. It goes through one ear out of the other, so it doesn't matter. Now, once you connect, you focus on the issue, and then you activate what the two of you agree upon. Say, what did we agree? What am I going to do? What are you going to do? Let's try it. So you focus, then you activate. And last, you review. What did we agree? When are we going to check the results? Try it now. Take 5 minutes, try what we said, and let's see the result. If it's something that takes a month, try it for a month, and then we'll see how we progress from there. And you go round and round and round the circle as many times as you need. Now, the interesting thing is that if you look at the development levels and the situational leadership model, it's not, coaching is not applicable to every development level. So if you know the development levels, it's applicable to 25% of development level 1, about 50% of development level 2, 75% of development level 3, and 25% of development level 4. If you don't know the model, I can try to explain later on. Now, to be able to do the 4 steps of coaching, you need some skills. So, in how to do it, you need some skills. And these skills you use in all 4 elements of coaching. Okay? Those skills are, first of all, listening. And not just listening, hearing, but listening to learn. It's a skill, and it's something everyone can learn. So we normally take people through some activities to learn how to listen. Then the second skill is to learn how to inquire to get insights. And one of the people on the asking side before said, I asked a lot of questions to try to get to the key point. Now be careful there. One key thing is, don't ask the question in a way that it leads the person to answer what you think should be their answer, which you can very easily do. You need to learn how to ask questions that answer in a way that makes you think. It makes you think of, what should I ask next? So I get some more information I don't know about. So you're looking for their insights, not your solutions. Coaching, by the way, the first thing that you say is never, ever solve the problem for them. That's not coaching. Okay, that's telling. Coaching comes more with the asking. You try to help through questioning to make both people think. Not just yourself, also the other person. And then you need to tell the truth, which means you need to say how you see things, honestly. Even if it may hurt the other person, tell your truth and expect the other person to also tell theirs. And to do that, it helps for you to express confidence in them. You trust the person. You are confident they can do it. So they can give you more contribution. They can answer more questions. That speaker doesn't like it. Is it clear? Now, the thing is that both situational leadership tool and the coaching model use conversations as a method to build these relationships and help others develop, which is why you do it. In one case, you develop skills. In the other case, you also develop the person. In both cases, it results in more competent, more engaged people that do a better job, and they need less of your time to do their job or to help them do their job, which is our biggest problem usually. The more we tell a person how to do their job, the more time we need to spend helping them do their job. So we don't have enough time to do our job. Yes, sir.
Going back to the previous slide, I actually have a question to you. Mostly when I work with the teams, I have people who are actually not competent enough for that task.
Yep.
And I can clearly see that the potential is not there. But because of the available resources, I usually don't tell them the truth. Try to tell them that, if you work hard, if you focus, maybe.
So you don't tell your truth?
Because unfortunately, if I tell them that the potential is not there, maybe they're not able to do that. So I try to motivate them and hope.
Can you motivate somebody?
This is exactly my question. So what should I do? Should I tell them the truth that the potential is
Okay, let's ask everybody. No matter on who tries to tell you or affect you or influence you on anything, in other words, motivate you, who decides if you are going to do something or not? You decide. You are the person. You decide. Someone else? Who decides? No matter what the boss says, do this, do that, and I'm going to promote you, I'm going to give you a bonus, I'm going to give this, I'm going to give that. No matter what you tell your boss, who decides what you will actually do? Yourself. We tell people, motivate your people. The only one who motivates a person is themselves. So, all you can do is create the environment in which your people find their own motivation. What do you use for that? Coaching. So, try to use coaching to understand the other person, help them find their answers, and as a result, hope that they develop. There is no guarantee. Yes, sir.
This requirement that the person that you're coaching wants to be coached.
Very good question. Thank you. You know the presentation? Okay, it's coming up. Give me a few minutes. Thank you. So in trying to get to the point that was mentioned there by Blanchard, I also want to mention another model. You know the GROW model? People who are involved in coaching know the GROW model, or some know the GROW model. It's aligned with the Connect, Focus, Activate, and Review. There are some parallel things. So the one difference is that first you connect in this model. Before you agree on the goal, which is the focus, before you tell your truth, which is the reality, before you look at options, which is part of activate, and before you review, which is the way forward, you connect. So that's the only addition, if you want. Everything else is just using different words. Now, a question we have is, when should you not coach? When is coaching not appropriate? So if you want to dictate to the person, when do you usually need to do that? There are instances that you just need to tell them and get out. Emergencies, yes. Yeah, so if you have a short time to do something, you don't have time for coaching. So you need a decision right there and then, forget coaching. Tell the person, maybe I'll coach you later on. Now we need to get this done. Now. So, but you tell the truth. You don't say, I don't want to coach you. Say, we have the urgent need to give a solution to resolve this at this moment. So, yes, sir.
What if we are always in that situation? Yeah.
What if?
How to get the deal?
How did you learn?
No, I'm just asking.
How did you learn?
I'm not in that situation.
Oh, okay. So, in everything that you do, there is urgency. In some places, more urgency than in others. But there is urgency. So, to get faster to the point that each person can, in a self-reliant way, do the job they're supposed to do and not need your time, you need to invest time to help them get there. So it's like in the stock market, you invest before you get a return. So you need to invest time before you get back time. It's the same thing. If you don't invest, you will never get back the time, so you will always be in that situation, short of time. Your call. The good thing is, you know what will happen if you don't coach. Nothing will change. So, you want to change it? Try it. It will feel awkward, as we said in the beginning, but eventually, you will learn and you'll get a better result.
I think on this continuum from coaching, which is one more terminology, which is counseling.
Counseling.
So I think that sometimes it's an overlap. So how would you describe this counseling as a strategy?
It depends on how you define counseling. But I would say, the way I look at it is part of coaching. So I would say it's one of the approaches, techniques that you use in coaching. Sometimes you in a way tell a person and try something, not with the aim to tell them, but with the aim to keep them thinking. Okay? So if that's what you mean with counseling, yes, you should
So
use that.
maybe this is that step when you actually have to stop coaching.
Yes.
Or maybe just tell this person in a manner of counseling.
Absolutely. Now, another time you should not coach, and maybe that's at times the same, is when a person is just starting to learn something. What do you coach them on? They have no clue. So first you need to tell them, to be in the training room, these are the first 10 things you need to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Try it. No coaching there. You just give them clear goal, clear direction, not much talk, just let them try it. No need for coaching. Somebody else, so we said, when a person is learning, when the person, there's another case that you say no coaching, which is, if the person doesn't want coaching, you coach them. If the person doesn't want coaching, don't try it. You are wasting your time. See if you can find a way to get them to the point, maybe by helping some others, coaching them, they see the result with the other person, they say, can I get some of that too? Well, you said you don't want coaching. So, yes, you can. Do you want it? The person, when a person wants something, whatever it is, there is a much higher likelihood that they will do it faster, more effectively, because they want to. So never force anything, including coaching, on anyone. Now, do you like that music? If you like it, we can turn it up. When should you coach? So, if the person is developing and performing, you say, okay, let me help you do more of this. If they want to, of course. Another one is when you need something innovative, some new ideas. You don't have them. And you say, I need some new ideas. Let me start asking around. So you go all the way out here and you ask. You ask everybody. You ask many times. You ask from different sides. And suddenly you get a lot of new ideas. And the people feel good that they're helping you. So they engage even more in this process, and then you help them more. And you get help. Another time is when self-confidence for the person is needed and they need to find their own motivation. You coach them. How? You ask them questions. What makes you feel good? What helps you? And so on. So that they think why doing something is important. They find their own reasons. They connect it possibly with their own values. I'm doing it because I want to help this country become a better country. I'm not doing it because my boss said so. I'm doing it for another reason. That motivates me. Or whatever. It's person specific. Sometimes people just want somebody to listen to them. Offer yourself. Since you have become a good person, you have become a good person, you already moved 3 steps this way, say, hey, try me as a listener. Yes?
So, what you said was people need an objective listener, but what happens at times is that people just want to say things and they just waste
blow them out.
Blow them out, just waste other people's time. Like, how do you handle that? Like, how do you...
If you do that once, 2, 3, 4 times with a person, they just tell you all the bad things they want to say,
Exactly.
they will trust you more. So then you can ask questions. So let them vent out, and then say, okay, how about this, how about that? And you get them thinking. You're coaching. Make sense? Now, how do you do coaching? There are different ways. There is the formal coaching. You say, today at 4 o'clock, for 20 minutes, we're going to talk about you. Okay? And you focus on something specific, something you have agreed before, is structured, is planned, and is expected. It's not something that comes out of the blue. That's formal coaching. At the same time, there is informal coaching. Informal coaching is when you just happen to meet somebody and he says something and you ask a question, and in 1 minute, you're coaching. Maybe not for long, maybe for another 30 seconds. And then you walk up to someone else, and something else comes up, and you ask a different question. Again, you're coaching. And you can go back and forth. And on the job, as things happen, have informal coaching of multiple people. These are brief, they're very quick, and they're not structured, and they're not done based on a plan. They just happen. Yes, okay? You do? No, you do. And actually, these days, I don't know in your organization, the vast majority of coaching that happens, it's this type of coaching. Okay? Okay, I don't know about Pakistan, or I know a little bit. I've been coaching in Pakistan for the past 5-6 years. Coached a lot of mainly executives, some big companies, some very big companies. But that's structured coaching. That's based on a plan, it's based on an appointment, usually set time and all that. From my working experience, what's even more effective is the informal coaching. Okay? So during a game, the way I say it, during the business, you catch something good a person did, tell them. That's the right way. They know. They'll keep that. You catch something, you say, could you do that a little bit different? You don't say better necessarily, different. Because you want a different outcome. Try this, try that. Or what could you try? Ask the question. Let them try what they think is right. You both learn. And doing that on the job can make people fly. I'm not saying don't use the formal coaching. I'm saying that these days, more than 90% of the coaching that happens is informal on the job. So it's things that you should be doing with your people. Can you repeat that? Yes, that's what I would call also structured coaching. You take the people out of the job. Reason is you want to remove some of the what's happening around them that they have firefighting to take care of. Open their mind and focus on coaching.
I think it could also be, it could be unstructured as well, where they could work on anything you want as well.
Sure, but it's partly